If an object is propelled upward from ground level with an initial velocity of 96 feet per second, its height, s, in feet, in t seconds, is given by the formula s equals negative 16t squared plus 96t. In how many seconds will the object be at a height of 80 feet? Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. First of all, they gave us a formula right here. So a height of s, well here, let me go ahead and let me copy this formula over. So now down here we have s equals negative 16 t squared plus 96 t. Okay, now let's see, what else do we have here? So our height is s, and it's in feet. And seconds, that's time. T is our time, and it's in seconds. And then the 96 that they're talking about right here is in the formula. We don't have to worry about that. But what we do need to worry about is they want to know in how many seconds the object will be at a height of 80 feet. That's what we need to plug in. And that height, for some reason they used s for the variable for height. So we're going to plug in 80 equals negative 16t squared plus 96t. And we're solving for time, we're solving for t. So our t is squared, this is a quadratic function. So as always, we're going to get everything on the same side, set the equation equal to 0, and factor it to solve. So we will subtract 80 from both sides. Extend the page here. And so that will give us 0 equals negative 16 t squared plus 96t minus 80. Now, we don't like having our leading term negative when we're factoring. And so we are going to solve that by dividing every term by negative 1, which will just change all of the signs. And of course, when we divide 0 by negative 1, it doesn't change a thing. And then we end up with 16 t squared, which is now positive, minus 96t, now negative, plus 80, now positive. Okay, and we're going to factor and solve. But before we do, it looks to me like we have a common factor that we can factor out. So let's take a look here. 16 is 4 times 4, which breaks down to 2 times 2 and 2 times 2. Let's circle the primes. 96, definitely divisible by 2, and then that gives me 48, 2 and 24, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, and 2 and 3. And then 80. 2 and 40, 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. So, and let me circle my primes again. So let's see here, what do I have in common? I can factor out a set of 2's here, giving me a 2. Another set of 2's, giving me 2. Yet another set of 2's. And one more set of 2's. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that's 16. I'm going to factor out a 16. So I now have 0 equals 16 times t squared minus, let's see here, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 6t, and then plus 5. Okay, let's extend the page here, and just to make this easier to read, I'm going to put in a line. And then we will keep going here. Oh, and we need to close our parentheses there. Now we're going to factor what we have in the parentheses. So let's do our box. So we have t squared here, and 5 here. And of course we need to take this term and break it back apart. So we'll use our x with the air conditioner on the roof, and the basement under the house. So let's see here. A is 1, C is 5, so on top I have a 5. On the bottom I have negative 6. All of the possible sets of factors of 5, that's 1 and 5, and that's it. 1 times 5. So to give me negative 6, and let's see, if this is positive 5, they have to have the same sign. So a negative 1 and a negative 5. So I have negative t and negative 5t. What's in common? I've got t here and t here, negative 5 and negative 1. I check all 4 of them, and all 4 of them check. So now, factored form of the equation. Now we'll go ahead and do that. So I have 0 equals 16 times t minus 1 and t times t minus 5. Okay, so now I'm going to break it apart. I don't have to worry about this 16 as there's no variable there, but I'm going to get 0 equals t minus 1 and 0 equals t minus 5, and I'm going to solve each of these. Add 1 to both sides, and I've got 1 equals t, and over here I'll add 5 to both sides, and I'll have 5 equals t. Now, that means we have 2 times. We have 1 second and 5 seconds. Let's go back to the original problem and see if we can figure out which one they're looking for. So again, we had t equals 1 and 5. They want to know in how many seconds will the object be at a height of 80 feet. So what's happening here? the object goes up, and the object comes down. And we have this height of 80 feet across here. It's going to pass through that height twice. The first time it passes through is at 1 second, and the second time is at 5 seconds. Which one are we looking for? Well, it says, in how many seconds will the object be at a height of 80 feet? It's looking for the first time it gets to that height. So we're looking for that answer. 1 second.